Well, it looks like we picked up about 4 inches overnight, a little bit more than was expected. It's a little warm. It was hovering at about 32 degrees at my house, and the snow is a little wet, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, right? Let's go to Bear Mountain. Let's see how the conditions are today. I'm assuming that there'll be a little bit more crowds compared to our last storm system, mainly due to the fact that people can actually get up here, and it is spring break for some of the schools down the hill. So the lifts spin at 9 o'clock, and meet some of my buddies up here and see what fun is to be had. All right, hey, it's not crowded at all. There's hardly anyone in the lots. They're still parking at the top lots. That's a good sign. Normally by this time they're already moving people down over on that side. Maybe the crowds aren't as heavy as I had anticipated. All right, hey buddy. Oh, that guy's nice. Hey, how's it going? That guy's always nice. He always welcomes people. He really does a great job here at Bear Mountain. All right. Telling us to park anywhere in particular? I guess not. Oh yes, here we are. Hey, practically front door parking. Oh yeah, here at Bear. Doesn't look that crowded yet. Wet snow for sure. Look at that. There's not even a lineup yet. There's like 4 dudes out there. I thought I was late. Turns out I'm early. Woo! Oh man, it's another locals day. There's hardly anyone here. At about 6 inches overnight, maybe 8 inches up at the top. Getting good lines. A little hard to see, a little wet snow, but hey, we're not gonna argue, are we, boys?
Hey.
You! There he is. Yeah! Ha-ha! You!
That was pretty close.
Oh, it's chunky. They just opened chair 4, and the W is definitely here. You can't really tell now. We're more in a protected canyon, but we were getting pushed really hard from the top downward, but then as we were coming out through this canyon onto the run, the wind was going the opposite direction. So it's going to be a wacky, interesting day up here at Bear Mountain. There's Blake. There's Jack. Pow day crew. Woo! Oh, here's someone getting lines already. Sheesh, she must have hiked over. Yeah, baby. Yeah! Woo! Oh my God! Oh, I'm gonna death grip on this phone right now. Holy shit! Oh my gosh, that hit us like a train.
What's a 70-mile-an-hour gust between friends?
Oh, I think that was a 70-mile-an-hour gust. They've closed all the other chairs for now, but as soon as we get up to the top of this, it could all change, and hopefully we don't get stuck on this chair, because it's pretty nasty. That storm has definitely moved in. It's wet, it's practically raining, it's 34 degrees, but we're still snowboarding. All right, well, the mountain's still open, but most of the good chairs are closed right now, or at least on wind hold. And as you can see, the situation's changed a little bit here. It's pretty mucky, pretty sloppy. It's about 34, 35 degrees. The snow was wonderful for about an hour, but now it's definitely changed for the time being. So we're gonna take a little break and come back once it gets a little better. By this afternoon, it's supposed to get colder. The snow is supposed to come in a lot heavier, and it should actually be sticking a lot better than just this wet, mucky mashed potatoes. So we'll be back soon. All right, it's starting to come down finally. Nice flakes, big flakes, and it's finally cold enough to actually be technically snowing. Before it was more rain and then it stopped, and just about an hour ago it started snowing again, and it's supposed to go all night, getting heavier as the evening progresses. Guess it's time to go get rid of that berm, even though it's the berm I drove around. That's not much. That's barely even a berm. Let's not call that a berm. Let's just call that chunky snow on the corner of my driveway. But it's going to be a lot bigger by tomorrow. Stay tuned and I'll show you what I mean with an update coming tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, maybe not bright and early, because we've got to get out there and snowboard while it's good. Well, the snow has arrived in full force, I would say. It is going to snow all night, into the morning, and maybe into tomorrow. That's kind of what we're hoping for. We could use more at this point. The news reports are saying a lot about how to stay away and how treacherous the roads are, which is probably true. This is what we're dealing with right now. Definitely slippery and requiring chains if you're in a two-wheel drive vehicle, but not quite R3 conditions. Well, the snow has been coming down pretty hard for the last 2 hours, and it's about to be getting dark here in another half hour or so. I would say that this snow isn't quite as high quality as the storms in late February and early March were, but hey, it's snow, it's not raining. We kind of like that, so the ski resorts can stay open later. I do not know what's happening down at the lower communities, such as Running Springs and Crestline. I actually got to give my friends down there a call. I'm assuming since it was so wet and barely even cold enough to snow overnight into the evening, into the morning, I don't think they were receiving snow. Is probably mostly rain down there, but I got to confirm with them, some friends of mine down in those communities, and find out for sure. I'm sure the news reports are all around the place saying how dangerous it is on the roads. That seems to be the case for these last couple of storms, which is probably a good idea, keeping people out of the area for now, just to keep things safe. But it was very slow at the ski resort this morning. That's kind of normal for midweek, but it's also spring break, so that was kind of a surprise at the same time. Honestly, I was expecting more people this morning, but it wasn't the best of conditions. Tomorrow is definitely going to be the best day of the week in terms of fresh snow, and we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, and I'll be reporting back in a day or so as soon as I possibly can. Thank you for watching. The snow is so heavy compared to that last storm, but it's falling fast.